to a special edition of Making. I'm here today with my amazing sister, Becky, who just so happens to be a self-published author. As preacher's kids, we've shared a lot of faith, fun, and laughs over the years, and today is no different. We're enjoying this beautiful day on her patio with her pool sparkling in the background. Thank you to my husband, who's awesome. And it's the perfect setting for a great conversation. But before we dive into Becky's writing journey, let's reflect on Proverbs 16:3. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. So grab a drink, relax, and join us as we chat about books, history, and what it's like to follow God in the world of self-publishing.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, this is, like I said before, this is my sister, and we're going to talk about her books that she has self-published, and what a journey that was. You were supposed to bring them out.
Oh, I didn't. Can we pause?
We'll run let
me run and get them. Hang on. You have to edit this out. Edit this moment.
Here she comes. There she goes. But she is wearing her clothes, so they can't call her the street. Look at that. Okay, all right. So she is a self-published author, as we just said. I don't know how I'm going to edit that.
Anyway.
She is a self-published author, and she has published 2 different books. And she's supposed to give me links, and hopefully she will before this video comes out, to where you can purchase these books. I personally have read both of these books, and they are very, very good. Phenomenal books. I really, really enjoy them. She's also has in the making some, and we'll talk about it in her questions, but she also has in the making some short stories that she's put out as well. And I told her that she needs to make them into like a women's group kind of Bible study, kind of talk about, kind of, I don't know what you
small
group kind of thing, because I think they would be really good, especially for women, because it comes from a woman's perspective. And so can you tell us a bit about the 2 books that you've written? What are their titles and what inspired their stories?
So I got my notes written down here because I knew I wouldn't remember how to answer these questions. Yeah. So, okay, this is my first book.
And we'll take a picture and we'll put it in there.
The Minister's Daughter. My husband drew the artwork on that, like, gosh, I don't know. It was years ago. When did I publish this one?
It's been a long time.
2016. That was my first. It was set during the Civil War in Savannah, which I lived just about 30 minutes from, and of course you live in Savannah. And I've always loved the history of the Civil War. It's one of my favorite time periods. I think I was born in the wrong time. The dresses, the chivalry, just everything. The mansions. I love the antebellum stuffed cherry mansion. I always love going to cherry mansion.
Our courthouse is the antebellum theme, and it is beautiful.
Yes, I love it. And of course, living close to it, the Battle of Shiloh, in case y'all don't know your history, one of the bloodiest battles in the Civil War up until Gettysburg happened April the 5th and 6th of 1862. Just right there in Savannah, and I just couldn't help but be interested in it. Plus, I had just had my second child, my first daughter. I have a son, I have a daughter. I have 2 more daughters after that. So I just had her, and I had them very close together. So they didn't really have a personality at the time. So it's just kind of like, let me live vicariously through them, and I will give them personalities in my book, which didn't pan out kind of, in real life. But anyway, they're awesome.
But
I have
Lauren
awesome children.
does love to read.
Yeah, Lauren loves to read now. So yeah, Stephen not so much, but Lauren loves to read. So anyway, so I just kind of wondered how it would have been for them, like putting them in the Civil War era, and of course me as a fabulous mom, which not really, but just kind of how it would be to do. That was my first book. Then my second book is The Lord and the Lady. Ugh. And just in case you can't see that, I go by Sarah R. Browder on here because my name is Sarah Rebecca. So in case you wonder, that's not Becky. Yeah, it is. It's me.
Same person.
Same person, just my real name kind of thing. So So that's set during the time of the Norman conquest of England, before England actually became its own thing. Yeah, William the Conqueror and all that. So I just love history. Okay, I just love history, and so I enjoy writing about it. I do my research. Who doesn't love the knights and the ladies and the castles and the my lords and the my ladies and your grace and all that. This I just wanted to write about knights and the romance, the ladies. Use my imagination. See if I could write about a place I've never been. I've never been to Normandy, but I did do a lot of research. I didn't just come up with this in my head like the lady with the Twilight books. Just come up with all kinds of stuff about vampires. Just throw that out. A little shade. Where they sparkle in the sunlight and all this. That's not how that works. But
it was fiction.
Okay, vampires are fictional anyway, but stick to the traditional fiction. Don't make them sparkle in the sun. That's just not romantic at all. That's weird.
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
That's okay. Yeah, let's just stick with the original. All right, so anyway, but I did a lot of research on it. Looked at old maps that I could find online and different things, and did studies on castles and forts and stuff. Anyway, that was all I want. I just wanted to write about that period in history for the second one and just kind of see what I could do with it. And I have more that I'm working on. Actually, I'm writing one during the time of the war between Ireland and England, where they were trying, like their own country civil war over there. But it's been a minute. It's in the 1700s.
Well, and you were in school for a little while too. So
that
kind of took a little bit of your time.
Yeah, I only got an associate's degree with that, but I'm not going back. Yeah, I'm done. That was way too much for me.
I got you. I understand.
Lord, I really do. Again.
Well, and I think part of why you love history so much, or at least I think so, because I always look back and I think this is why I love history so much, is because our parents would take us every time we would go somewhere. Yes, it was a preaching engagement.
Yeah,
always. We were going to preach somewhere. Or
Vacation, what's that? Go to church.
Yeah, they were going to. He was going to preach somewhere, and then we were going to have to sing somewhere. But he would preach, but during those trips they would take family time, and we would visit some type of historical whatever that at the direction that we were going. We were visiting history, and so our parents are big lovers of history. Our dad especially.
No, Dad.
And
wow.
So,
World War II is like his thing.
So they are like all about it, and so he always made sure that we were going some historical place, and I think it created a love in us for history because both of us just really do love history. And I've noticed in my children, I don't know about yours, but I've noticed in my kids, my daughter, she's already in love with history. Like she's like, I love learning new history things, and we do the same thing where we take her, to places that are historical, and of course we're living in a historical town, she gets to see all that fun stuff. So where can they purchase these books?
So,
we're gonna leave links in the bottom as long as I get them from her.
Yes, so I can do that. I can do that. So the Minister's Daughter, you can get through Author House. It's not Arthur. Author. AUTHORHOUSE.com. I self-published these, so I don't have like a traditional publisher. So that you can get it through there. It's like a print-on-demand thing. So when you order it, they print it and they send it to you. I don't know how much it is. It's way cheaper than it was when I first came out with it because I just haven't had time to promote it, and it takes a lot of money. The Lord and the Lady, I'm so sorry, you can no longer purchase this through the publisher because my publisher went out of business. So I happen to have 9 whole copies.
Ooh, so you better hurry up and get in there and get
your limited time edition. $14.99 plus shipping, tax. I guess they have tax. I'm not sure how all this works yet. I do have a website that I'm working on the payment page, trying to get that set up because I'm older now, but I still love techie stuff. But my techie knowledge is being completely tested by WordPress right now. So, trying to get the payment pages up and everything, but I will have a link for this to order directly from me, and then I will send it to you. Once that I'm out of 9 copies, though, there are no more. But good news, I intend to redo these. I'm going to try to do second editions and publish them through Amazon, because I still own the rights, so I can do what I want. And I'm going to put them through Amazon, publish them through Amazon, so that y'all be able to order them from Amazon. And then I will update my links on my page, Browder.com. I think that's what that is.
We'll put it in the description box below, and then that way that you can find it. And I'll see if I can try to help her with a link or two, because I know. And the other thing that I want to say about these books that makes them unique is, if you're a reader, and we are, because we grew up, we didn't have TVs. We read books.
No.
And so we read a whole lot.
And we did shadow people.
Yeah, we did shadow. when the lights went out, especially during that ice storm.
Yeah, we did shadows on the wall.
We were having Gone with the Wind all on the wall in shadow. So I'm just saying, we were those kids.
Fun times.
But anyways, the thing that stands out to me about these books is, most of your Christian authors, and this is nothing against them or anything like that.
No disparaging remarks.
No, and it's just, it becomes a repetition after a while. It's the same thing. You get the girl, and she's got some kind of spiritual whatever, and they lead her to Christ, and then she gets with the man, or the guy, vice versa, or whatever. And it's all, it seems to be the same, and there's no mystery, no really
action. Come on.
Yeah, involved.
Put some action in some of these. Give me some good action.
And I do have some good authors that I personally recommend that I am all about, because I've already given her a couple of books.
Very good.
In her books, it's different. She's very targeted on giving the action. And yes, it's still a Christian book. We don't have to worry about cursing or anything like that.
No.
Not even Christian cursing. We
not even Christian cursing.
We don't have to worry about any of that, but it brings in the action, and it brings it to life. And that's what we're looking for when we read a book. We want something that's not going to be monotonous. It's the same thing over again. Oh, well, damsel's in distress. Oh, he helps her out. Oh, they got saved, and now they love the Lord. Woo-hoo,
everybody loves Jesus now.
And it's not that we don't want to spread the message. That's not the point. That's not it. Sometimes we just like living vicariously through a book, or hearing it, because it brings out the history. That was the other thing. It's a teaching method as well. So even if my daughter were to pick it up, I'd be like, great, because she's getting history that she's researched. She knows it's actual fact. Even though it's a fiction book, she's still getting some history.
Yeah, because let me just say a minute. So this book actually talks about a guy, viewer hearing advised, getting his head lopped off with cannonball, which actually happened. Okay, that's the real story. It's the real story about a war. People died. And there's also a thing, and one of the ladies that bought this book for me that I used to work with, she was like, I read your book, and she said, then I saw something on the History Channel about the Battle of Shiloh, and it is I had a nurse who was in here, and I can't remember her name right away because I haven't read the book in a hot minute, but she's like, and it had the story of this nurse at the Battle of Shiloh helping the Union soldiers, just like you said. And I said, well, I mean, I didn't just pull this out of a hat and decide to write a name or pick up, I actually researched different things. A guy did die going across, him and a few men were going across the river, and they drowned. Their boat overturned and they drowned. So I do that, and then this one has a ghost, because I also love ghosty things. So just kind of throwing it in a little different, mixing it up.
Yeah, so that's why I really highly recommend those. And like I said, the links will be in the description box below, as long as we can get them over there too.
I can do it.
And you only have 9 books. She's done said it. 9 books of the Lord of the Lady.
9.
So you definitely want to make sure you get your copy there. All right, so tell me, what was the most challenging part of writing your books, and how did you overcome it?
So, most challenging part, publishing. Oh, the headache, the anger, the rage. Publishing is so hard. So at the time, like I said, back in 2016 when I finally got this. I had tried sending it out to publishers, traditional publishers. You have to put them in an envelope and send it out. You find the publishers online, you find their addresses, you send it out. Nobody would send me responses. I got nothing. Nil. Like, nothing. Very, very tough crowd out there. So, and then I spent a ton of money just in postage. I would not do that today, people. 70 cents a stamp, 69 cents a stamp to mail. And you're having to mail like 2 and 3 chapters. It's not just a short thing, which now I think some people may do it by email, but your traditional publishers probably not, because a lot of them aren't taking on new clients or whatever. That was my biggest thing. So that's why I went through what they call vanity publishers. I'm not a fan of the name because it makes it sound vain, but that's what they call them. They're okay. Yeah, I'm so bad. So that's what they call them, is vanity publishers, but they do cost you money out of pocket. I want to say when I first did this one, one of them was like $1,200 out of pocket up front cost. And I mean, that did include, like, they made my cover, they did a little proofreading, very little proofreading. You have to do it yourself. And then that's why there's some errors. Multiple in the first, minor in the second. But yeah, and the initial deposit is a thing. That's a challenge. Having the money and trying to get the publishing. Yeah.
Yeah. And you had your kids at the same time.
Yes, and I had my children.
So
yeah.
that was
Plus I was pastor's wife, minister of music, working full time, writing books, managing children. Wow.
Yeah.
What a resume. Yeah.
If only it meant something sometimes.
Right.
It does to God.
Sure
it
does.
means all things to God.
Sure. Yeah, he laughed at me a lot. That's
and we're getting to that.
Yeah.
And we're getting to that. So
he has such humor.
We said this at the beginning, that she has some unpublished short stories with unique perspectives. I want you to share what inspired you to write from the perspectives of Lot's wife and Job's wife, because that's two, and I really enjoyed those.
So, everybody hates Lot's wife, right? I mean, show of hands, who hates Lot's wife? Okay, right.
I don't hate her. I just
because I mean, what horrible, how bad can you be with Lot's wife that you have to turn around and watch you, because you're just so the way we've heard it,
material.
You're so materialistic. Oh my gosh, my house is going up in smoke. I've just got to turn around and watch that. Oh, okay. Yeah, bad person. I mean, immediate, stay away from these kind of people. But really, once you think about it, if you put her in perspective, she was a woman. Mm-hmm. She was a wife. And then she had children, multiple children. If you read the book of Genesis and you look at Lot's wife, so she had, when you go in there, and I can't remember the chapter because I'm a bad Christian apparently, so when you read that, she had sons-in-law, because Lot went to the sons plural in-law, which means she had to have at least 2 more daughters, at least. So they've been living in this city for a long time, probably more than likely had grandchildren, and I know you don't have them yet, but I have 2, and I would do almost pretty much anything for my grandbabies. Almost. I draw a line on some things. Won't buy them a tiger or anything like that. But you love those grandbabies and you love your kids. So I wrote it from the perspective of her just being a mother and a possible grandmother. How that's going to feel knowing that you're not leaving with your entire family. I mean, you could possibly have left without those grandbabies, and you know what's coming. So, yeah, that's terrifying. And I don't want to ruin it for anybody because I am going to try to get it out there. Maybe on a blog post even. Just something that people can read until I can get it compiled. So, but it's just a whole different thing. And when you actually go through there and you read it, you find out that she didn't just walk right outside the city and turn around. She made it to the other city because the angel said, hey, we're not going to do anything until you enter the gates. So she had to get into the gate before. And I kind of covered that a little bit, but I don't want to blow that.
No, you definitely, it is a must read. But anyways, and then Job's
wife. Who hates Job's wife? Yeah, that's you here.
Curse your God and die.
Just curse him and die, because I don't love you, I don't care about you, and I don't want you here. Gosh, you're getting on my nerves with all your whining. Just stop. Yeah, I can feel that sometimes. I feel the whiny irritation. But also, when you read about her, when you study her out, and I mentioned this some too, the Jews gave her this horrible name. They gave her this horrible reputation. And they went about like she was just a bad person too. But who cared for him? The man literally sat in ashes and didn't take care of himself. So, not the kind of man I would really want to be married to. But she was a wife, and she had been a mother. She lost everything. He wasn't the only one. I mean, I know biblical times, men were all that in a bag of chips, and women just kind of sat on the shelf. But she lost everything, too. And yet she still had this whiny husband who had lost things. I'll credit him with, yes, he lost. I mean, and he was the provider, and it was a horrible tragedy for him. But then he's sitting out there brushing off his boils with pods of, with the potsherds, whatever. And he had to eat. You can only stay alive for so many days without eating.
Food and water,
Yeah, so he had to eat. He had to be drinking. But who was doing that? Not his friends, because they just sat there and stared at him. So she had to take care of him, which means she loved him. And I know if that was my husband that was in so much pain like that, I wouldn't want to see him that way. So I kind of wrote it from that view.
Yeah, and to me, I think that perspective is really good because we take what she said out of context because we just look at it and it's nothing to do with men that preach this message. So we're not slandering or we're not saying that what they're saying is wrong or anything like that.
Study more.
But what we're saying is if you look at it from her perspective, you would see things completely different. If you took it from a mother's perspective and how a mother felt, same thing with Lot's wife.
Yep.
Take it from a mother's perspective, you see things a lot differently.
Yep.
So if you're a woman on here and you're watching, when you're reading the Bible, read it from a woman's perspective. Sometimes you might see things in there that a man can't see because he's looking at it from a man's perspective. Our perspectives are completely different.
And it goes by what we've heard for our entire life as well.
Yes. And so I think that
not that they told us wrong intentionally,
no.
But just because sometimes I think it's been carried on through the years, and so they've just kind of built on that. And
I really do. And I like I said, I'm not bashing anybody that's preached it one way or another, but this, she bashes. I don't bash. I'm the good one. I'm the nice one, okay? Out of all three of us girls, I'm the nice one. Don't forget that. No, I'm kidding.
I've never been accused of that, ever.
But seriously, it's just... just when she brought it out, I hadn't thought about it, and it was like it set a new light. It was like, you know what? Why haven't I thought about this before? Instead of her being crucified all the time. And so I don't want to ruin it, but I want you to read it because it's so good. So if she gets it up on a blog post, or if she creates a download to where you can download it, maybe do it as a donation or payment or whatever for the download, it will be worth your money to do it because of the fact that you're going to get some new insight on these two women that I think is very important. I don't doubt, I'm just saying, if I don't beat her to it, but I don't doubt that she will come up with some more about some other women in the Bible that might give you a little bit of a different perspective as well. Me personally, all I can think about is Ruth. I mean, I know she's got a whole book of the Bible about her, but that poor woman went through everything. But then think about her mother.
Yeah.
Her mother-in-law, who ended up calling her name Mara because she was bitter. Think about what all she went through of why she called herself bitter. I mean, there's so many things out there that we could go into and more stories that we could make.
Yeah.
But anyways, we need to move on. So your other short story has to do with
yeah,
as a young mom with your 4 kids.
Yeah.
And how you felt. And the title of it was
When God Laughs. Yeah, it's appropriate. Trust me. I heard it. I heard his laughter like vividly.
Yeah, it was her personal story.
Many
so
times.
good.
Yeah. Oh, he laughs. The guy's got a sense of humor. If you don't believe it, yeah, just, do something that you think you're going to control. You'll find out.
Well, I feel like that right now. I'm just telling you in my life. Y'all, menopause. If you get to that point where it's menopause, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He has to laugh. And we want to blame Eve, but we won't. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Little old Eve, too.
Man, I need to write
Don't
about
go
Eve.
down the road. We'll be running down a rabbit trail. Off in the rabbit trail. Let's not do that.
Squirrel.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Anyways, that story is inspired by her personal life and some experiences that you experienced during those times of your life. And it's shared and it's
I mean, really for those of you who don't know, I had my kids I wasn't very young as far as me. I had my first one at 25. And then there's my son, and then I had the next year I had Lauren, and then 2 years later I had Anna, and then the next year, well, not even a year, 364 days later I had Madison. And I was working full time during all this, and we were associate pastor at Dad's church at Souls Harbor, and we were music ministers, ministry of music, my husband and I there as well. Plus we preached out, plus we helped out at some other churches on Sundays, and then we went to Savannah and started to work there for about 7 years. So all this accumulated in that book, because I am not a patient woman.
Shock! I think it runs in the face.
Shock! Surprise! Surprise!
Any of us are patient.
Yeah, not patient. Never been accused of being patient. Didn't pray for patience. My mom did, and we know what happened there. So, not gonna do that ever. And I don't pray for patience. And I encourage you, don't do it.
Don't do it. Yeah,
I
didn't even do it.
No, don't. He sends it all on his own. You don't even have to pray for it. So, just, a lot of things going on with that, and just kind of the frustrations that mothers have when they're trying to do everything right and be perfect, and you can't. You'll never do it. You'll never be a perfect mom. You'll never be a perfect wife, and you're sure enough never going to be perfect at both of those at the same time, ever. But there is consolation to know that God is always still there, and you can find a peace even when you don't think there's peace. In your chaos, there's always going to be a place that you can find a peace. Even when you're sitting back in your chaos and watching it unfold around you, you can see that your kids are still good kids. Your husband is still a good man. You're still a good person, even though you don't like people and you don't want to be there with them, and you get tired of hearing them complain to you when it's your job to listen, and you just want to tell them, look, I got my own problems, move on. But there's a peace there, and God does laugh because he sends so many things to you, and you don't think you can carry it, and you don't think you can handle it. And I try to be a strong individual, independent person. I don't want to depend on anybody. I don't like depending on people. And he makes that,
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, thanks, Mom. But he completely tries to destroy that. Not in a bad way, but it's to better you.
Well, and the independence, it ends up coming back to where you're dependent upon God.
Yes.
That's what it all boils down to.
Yep.
Because being that type of individual, we'll spit it out here in a minute. Being that type of individual, we end up wanting to control every factor of our lives. If it's not going right, we've got to fix it. It's like, I gotta fix it. I gotta do it now. I can't let somebody else handle it for me. I have to do it. And because of that,
gotta get my hands on it.
God's more apt to be like, no. He's control
like,
it. Yeah. I think he hits me a little bit harder than he hits you. If that's all you get, man.
Oh,
you get good.
no.
I
Oh,
get hit
no,
a whole
no.
lot harder. It's more like, pow. It's like, what was that?
Pick myself off the floor a couple times. Yeah, no.
So I think that's God's way of, he wants us to fully, that's called that, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, lean not to thine own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge him, for he shall direct your paths. And that's one of the hardest scriptures for me, because it's like, I do trust you, God. Yes, I explicitly trust you. I mean, there's nothing in my life that I don't trust you over. But let me hold this down right here while you do everything else that you need to do, okay? And what if you did it this way and not that way? So that's, and I think that, and that's what you're saying about your life. God just, he laughs at our calamity sometimes.
He laughs with you.
Yes.
Not at you.
No,
sometimes he laughs at you. But generally he's laughing with you. Yeah. And there's a difference. And his grace is always sufficient. Yes. So, even when you feel like you can't do it with all your heart, because, let's just be honest. There are times that you are like, God, I don't know if you got this. Just be real.
Yeah.
Don't try to be this super spiritual something that, I believe in all this, he's got it all, and I'm just going to stand here and not do anything and let God do it all. Well, that's stupid. That's just dumb. Don't do that. I'm sorry if that's, I'm not sorry if that offends you.
No,
that's just what it is.
It is relinquish control. Yes.
But
you got to have a little bit of sense in the middle of all of this, and common sense, okay?
But it's not so common anymore.
No, but because of the fact, and we're probably running down a rabbit trail right at this moment. But and I've said this to so many people, I have faith. I have faith that God will heal me of whatever is wrong with me.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that with all of my heart. And if you ask me if I was going to go to the doctor or rely on God, most likely I'm going to lean towards relying on God. However, God did give doctors wisdom to help us in our times of medical need when we need those times of assistance. So it's not that you've lost faith. I can remember the first time I went to the doctor as a young girl, and I was like, that means I don't believe in God no more, but I ain't trusting God. And I was like, that's not what that means, honey. And I was like, yes, it does, because you said we're supposed to trust God for everything, and I'm not trusting God by going to the doctor. She's like, but that's not what that means. And I was like, but yes, it does. And she's like, no, God gives doctors wisdom. He gave them the wisdom to help you right now in your time of need. It does not make you less faithful. It does not mean that you don't have faith.
Right.
For God to still do, God could still perform a miracle. And he did. He performed 2 miracles in my own life, even though I was still going to the doctor. So that sense of, yes, fully rely on God. But in the meantime, what do you need to do that God wants you to do to try to help the situation along? Because God can do it all. I mean, he can help you pay your car payment, but you might have to go to work.
Yeah, you might have to get a job
To pay your car payment.
Well, ain't no might. You're gonna have to get a job.
Just saying.
I'm not paying for you to go home.
There's so much there. Like I said, we probably went down a rabbit trail in the moment, but I hope that encouraged you in some way. And I'm just going to go straight for the last question.
Okay, straight to the last.
Yeah, because we
is.
had so many questions on here, and I was like, I don't even know what all we're going to be getting to.
Yeah, I just kind of picked and choose.
Yeah, we were talking about authors and what authors inspired her and so much more. But you know what? She can put that. We've got a blog post that's coming out that she's giving me as well. And it will probably come out before this video. So you'll probably get it the Monday before the video. And so you can read all about all her little stuff and that she has in there as well. I just wanted to do this video because I like chit-chatting with my sister anyway. We have a good time.
Yes, we do.
And our conversation before this started, we were thinking about maybe having a little surprise, but we don't know yet. So we're gonna pray about some things.
Down.
Yes, she's down.
I'm down.
I'm for it.
Edit.
Okay. All right. So what do you hope that readers take away from your books and your short stories?
Okay, yeah. So, just from my regular books, these two, unashamed publication here and promotion right here. So for those, I just want them to enjoy the read. Read it, learn a little about history. Like I said before, I do a lot of research. I don't just mush it up in here. I actually do research, like real true research. Pulling out, I read, even like for this one, I read Mary Chestnut Civil War. I have her, I had that book, which is her diary, in case y'all didn't know who Mary Chestnut was. She was a big society person in the Confederacy, and she just started writing a diary of what she experienced, different things. So very good if you just like to read about people's personal experiences, just go in there. So they're always going to be clean. My books are always clean. But I don't shy away from the atrocities of war. It's not going to be butterflies and roses thing. When I say people die, and I make sure people know they die because there's blood everywhere and stuff. Because it's real life.
There's no illustrations.
Yeah, no illustrations. Sorry, I can't draw. And I'm not afraid of the cancel culture because, like I said, this one is about the Civil War. So there are slaves. It's about slavery. I'm not calling you enslaved people. I'm not calling you that. This is about
history,
what they were. You can't change history. So face the fact. They were slaves. Slavery was a thing. Was it right? No, but it happened. So I'm just trying to help keep the history relevant to any time period, any person. My short stories, I want everybody to enjoy them, but I want to show a different side of the stories than what we've heard all of our life. I guess kind of playing the devil's advocate on that. I'm good at that because, some people think we have a thing going on. We all have, for short stories, my personal one, you have your own, and everybody could write that. If you can't write or whatever, you could find somebody to help you write it. But I just want to handle things kind of like come at it from my perspective, not saying my perspective is right. Just saying that it's my opinion, and I'm allowed to have that.
Freedom.
Yeah, that's why I live in the United States of America. Freedom, America. I just wanted to help somebody that might be going through that same scenario. Something might be going through that same thing. I know I'm not the only one who has had 4 small children within the span of 5 years. Before I was 30, started at 25, and before I was 30, I had 4, count them, kids, little baby kids, and mini me's sometimes, which is terrifying. I found that out. Sorry, Mom.
And they actually all came out okay.
Yeah.
They're all adults now.
Yeah, now I know why Dad drove a truck for a long time. Yeah.
When we were little.
Yeah, because mini me. Wow. But I just want people to enjoy. Just enjoy it. Take what you can from it. If you don't like it, that's your prerogative. You don't have to post nasty, negative things. Okay? I won't be nasty, negative with you unless you post something nasty, negative, and then it's on. You started it.
Completely opposite. I just ignore you and move on with my life. I'm like, whatever.
I might just not be feeling it that day. I might just delete. Okay, I might just delete you, block you, whatever. But just you don't have to say nice things. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, just don't say it at all.
That's what our mom said.
That's right, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I just want people to enjoy it, enjoy the read.
Yeah, and I think they will. I think if you were to check her out, like I said, her blog post is going to be up this previous Monday from now. I have to think things through.
Previous Monday?
Next Monday. Well, when this comes out, her blog post will have been posted. Make my English correct here.
Yes.
Monday. And I'll make sure I link that blog post in the description box below so that you can go and you can check out more. There'll be so much more information there. When we get together, we can't help ourselves. We just kind of run off everywhere. And I think we did really good on trying to kind of stay on target.
I think so. Yeah, less than an hour. Hey, we did great.
Yeah, we're less than an hour. So, but anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed this today. Be sure to check her out, Sarah R. Browder. I will, like I said, do all the links below. See these books right here? Amazing books. I have both of them. Buy now. Except this one. You only got 9 copies of this one.
Only 9.
And she's gonna put it down there. We're gonna get that set up so that way it's on the bottom. And hey, if you want it autographed, when you purchase it, put a little. I'm promoting for her.
Sure.
Purchase it and put a little note in there saying autograph mine to whomever you want it autographed to. If you want an autographed copy, I have autographed copies because you know she's my sister.
Yeah,
so
I will autograph it for free. Won't even charge you.
Not even $1 more.
Not even $1 more.
So I hope that you've enjoyed this today. Our little, what do you want to call it? It's an interview.
It's an interview.
I'm telling you, I just need to go jump in her pool that's behind me. Done that, just looking at that behind us, just makes me want to go jump in it, but I can't. I got to go to a birthday party.
It's probably cold too right now.
I'm sure it probably is.
Yeah.
It's so nice. It's beautiful out here
Probably,
today, though.
yeah, it's going to be perfect because I'm going to jump in there in a few little
lucky
bit.
her. She's going to get in while I go
Yeah.
to a child's birthday party.
It's been a long time.
So.
Yeah.
Anyways, I love you all. I appreciate you. Remember that I'm always praying for you, even if I don't know who you are. Be sure to check out Making. I pretty well post every week on a Friday, and I hope to see you again soon. See you all later. Bye.